Oh my mind, we make some man glitter today. Beautiful. Got some boards to trim. All of this ply lined up very nicely. I've strapped everything down with some clamps. I trimmed this down because I did originally think I was going to make this 600 deep. We ended up making it 500 deep because we've got skinnier tanks. Plus we'll need a little bit of clearance to the wall for all the plumbing to stick out of the backside of the tank stand. So this is going to have to get cut down a little bit more. I've clamped everything down nicely. It's all lined up really well. And now it's time to mark out some lines underneath. You can probably see here. Cut that all to size, then we can start fastening it down. I am slightly out a bit because these boards, I could only get to 1200 and the tank's 1220 long. So the waste I get out of here, I'm going to put on the end. We'll fasten that down with some short nails. And while I remembered, I just doubled up this here because that power strip there, I'm going to hook up to here because it sits a little bit further forward. That one sits against the wall. So it's going to be sitting about here, won't conflict with anything, and we'll be able to reach it a bit easier as well because it'll be closer to the front. Just while I remembered it. Alright, first line snapped, ready for the circular saw. I can't do this one-handed, so you're just going to have to believe me. Genuine man glitter. I am doing this. Yeah, that went pretty quick. Boards are cut, nail them down, and then we can probably start thinking about painting. Jeez, this has gone way quicker than I expected. Personally, I don't find much value in over attaching these with nails. I put a bare minimum of what's needed in there. It's not going to go anywhere. This is just a secondary stabilisation of the frame. This actually ties everything together a bit more and takes a bit more wobble out of things. So as you see, I don't go too crazy on my nailing at this point. You can if you like, but this is just my preference. Oh my mind, we make some man glitter today. Beautiful. But shelving is on this rack. Now this is only structural ply. I might have said marine earlier, but it's just structural. It's for indoor, so I don't mind too much. It's 12mm, so very thick. We're nailed down. Now, once we clean up this pile of man glitter, we can start painting. If I have enough paint, he says. Bought 4 litres for 30 bucks. Gotta love mist tints. They'll be matched. Yes. Painting kits out, usual plan of attack. Try and just do the basics really quickly of undersides where it's hard to get to once it's stood up. And then tomorrow, once it's had 24 hours to dry, we'll give the front a coat and finish making it look really nice. My painting kit has a good can top opener, roller tray, roller, stir stick, and a good brush. Between that, I can do pretty much everything at a moment's notice. Time to pour some paint in the tray, get started. And knocked out a quick 20-minute job. Doesn't have to be fantastic. This is on the back and on the bottom. As long as it's got a coat, I'm usually pretty happy. Tomorrow we'll flip this over, paint the front, stand it up. Actually got a fair bit done. Hard to believe that on Monday this was just a pile of timber. We got the backside painted yesterday. It's had about 12-15 hours to dry. I got a fair bit done actually. All the underside completely done. So it's literally just this face side, and I even got some of the bottom done. So it's probably only going to take about 20 minutes to finish this up today. Let that dry for the remainder of the day, and then I can go and start preparing some of the glass. And that's the first coat on the front. I will do 2 coats on the front just to make sure it's nice and solid. Underneath and the backside really don't matter because we won't be looking at it very much. Really feels like making some progress, and I'm really looking forward to putting the tanks on here and seeing how it looks with the tanks on there. But that'll be tomorrow because we have to let this dry for another 12 to 24 hours before we can do anything else and put the tanks on it. Super exciting if you ask me.